This is Andi Purewal for ID Boxing. We're here in Jeddah and I'm joined by Barry Hearn. Barry, we've just witnessed the weigh-in for Usyk-Joshua 2. What did you make of them both play on the scales?
Everything I expected. They're both very professional. They both look great. Their focus in their eyes looked very solid. They both fancy the job. We're in for a big night.
All week the talk's been about Oleksandr Usyk maybe being a little bit heavier. Are you surprised that he's coming in pretty much the same way as what he did for the first one?
I was surprised. I did expect him. I think we all fall that, don't we? We all fall for that. You know, there's the talk in the build-up, the press, you know, the connections, or he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Speculation without knowledge is always dangerous. What we saw today was the real Oleksandr Usyk, and he looks the part.
What does AJ have to do to be successful tomorrow night, Barry?
I always go back to basics. Hit him more times than he hits you. That usually works for me.
People obviously saying he needs to be more aggressive. I've seen Eddie say that he needs to, those first 6 rounds, he needs to put it on him. Do you agree with that?
There's different types of aggression. So aggression can be in the mind, can be in the feet, can be in the fists. It doesn't have to be a tear-up outside a pub on a Saturday night. So there's aggressiveness in a behavioural sense that dictates a fight. And I think that's where I'm looking for Anthony to be. I'm not looking for Anthony to come out and try and stop him. This guy has had 126 amateur fights. He's got a solid chin. He's a good pro. He's a little bit on the light side to withstand the real bombs, but you've got to land them to make them count. So that is all part of a plan, and you don't go out there with a set plan. You go out there with a plan that can be varied depending on circumstance. AJ's got a new team. We shall find out if that new team's been able to do that job for him. If they have, then I think AJ wins the fight. If they haven't, then it'll be the same again.
How much credit and recognition does AJ deserve, Barry, if he does come through with a victory on Saturday night?
Well, whoever wins this fight deserves enormous amount of credit because it's a really tough fight at the very top echelon of heavyweight boxing. With the exception of Tyson Fury, these two are the 2 best heavyweights in the world. And we're going to witness, I think, a spectacle. One of them will be able to say, I'm real, I'm the real deal. And that's okay. That just opens the book for more chapters on professional boxing because there's lots of people in the wings saying, no, hang on a minute, I'm the real deal. And that's why we're all here and why we follow this great sport.
Barry, do you believe Tyson Fury is retired?
Did I believe Frank Sinatra retired all those times? Don't be absolutely ridiculous. Poor old Tyson, I don't think even he knows whether he has or not. Listen, he's a professional boxer, he's a fighting man. Of course, the money's going to be colossal. Don't even ask the question.
I just want a quick word as well on Conor-Benn versus Eubank Jr. Your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah, well, it's a great fight. 2 great fighters, the history of the family. I won't call it a feud because that's a bit too strong a word, but 2 great warriors that contested 2 fabulous fights. And now we're going to get the sons doing exactly the same. Aggression favours Ben. Size, jab perhaps favours Eubank. But I think there's going to be something where someone's going to have to dig something out of the legacy of the family to resolve this one. And that's going to be an epic confrontation.
Right, Barry, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure.